Hey, Shalom. Giving all praises to how about Shemal Shai, double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace salutations to the elect. And coming at you with a quick lesson using ChatGPT. And pull out a couple scriptures as well. And no willingness is edifying, straight to the point. I did a lesson yesterday about Neurolink having their ninth patient successfully install brain chip. And so what I want to make sure I do is give some clarity or give some more insight on how these devils, how the elite, international elite banking families operate. So what I typed in was in ChatGPT, is Neurolink the only company installing brain chip implants? And the answer was no. Neurolink is not the only company working on implantable brain chips. While it's the most publicized, there are several others developing and even implanting devices in humans. And this is how it works. This is I believe this is what it's called, a scapegoat. Let me see. Let me look that up. Define. Uh, is it a scapegoat? I could spell it wrong, but a scapegoat. That's a direct term. Scapegoat. So, okay, it says when somebody is unfairly blamed for something that they didn't do. So maybe that's not the proper term, but basically what they're doing is they're keeping all the light, all the attention upon Elon Musk and Neuralink, while there's others in the background doing the same thing, basically. See, so that's basic. That's one of those things where the concept of an element of surprise takes place. Meanwhile, Neuralink does its thing, and is out here getting the limelight. Boom, out of nowhere, a whole nother company talking about they got brain chip implants as well. It's like the Apple and Microsoft battle, or it's like the Coca-Cola Pepsi battle. Like it's not just one particular company. However, they all receive their power first and foremost from Yahweh Shemal Shah, but then trickle down to the Edomites. The Edomites got all the power on the earth, and they're the ones that have that say so on who can do what out here. All right, Job 9:24. Let me grab that scripture. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And who's that wicked? It's talking about Esau, Edom. What proves that? Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, as Esau is referenced as the border of wickedness. The earth in itself, all the resources, all the oil, all right, everything, it was all given unto the Edomites, right? Going all the way back to the blessing that Esau had received from his father Isaac. He told him that he was going to have the fatness. He told him he's going to have the fatness of the earth. But going on, it says, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he, right? The main judge, he tried to cover up was the Most High. And how did he do that? He did that by trying to cause people to forget the Most High and his works. And one way he did that was by introducing his science, where NASA, and they talk about the Big Bang, and essentially turning things such as a free will as a school of thought to be trusted, but it's not. There is no free will. It's Yahweh Shai's will at the end of the day. That's why Yahweh Shai even made mention not to take no thought for tomorrow. But these devils, they got everybody in a trick bag right now. They got most people in a trick bag, those that are in gross darkness still. But it's not just the Most High. They also try to hide the image of his son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. And let's start there. They gave the name, they made up the name Jesus Christ. They changed him to a so-called white man. They did the same thing to all the holy men of the Bible, all the holy people of the Bible. You see? And he did this to cover up who he actually is. You know, he covered them up. He covered all of this up. Now everybody on the earth is all confused. They don't understand that the so-called white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. And the devil the Bible speaks of has a scheme, and he's looking to implant everybody either in their right hand or their forehead with a microchip, which is going to give them access to everything that they need, specifically that they want to monetize every single transaction, and they also want full control of God's chosen people. But going into a list of the companies that are out here installing brain chip implants to people. One of them is Synchron. All right, it says, we'll read a little bit. It says, they developed Stentrode, a minimally invasive implant delivered through blood vessels, eliminating the need for open brain surgery, and has successfully implanted devices in several patients in both Australia and the U.S., and collaborates with major tech companies like Apple. See that? Collaborates with a major tech company like Apple. Elon Musk isn't collaborating with Apple. So who's the guy that owns Apple? Let me see. I think it's who owns Apple? So it's blah 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 shareholders. Let's see, BlackRock owns like 6.5%. They're in Vanguard. BlackRock and Vanguard. Them two right there, man. They're the ones. They're the ones that have that control. Them two. Those companies right there are the main two companies that basically own everything out here, which again are owned by Edomites. You know, but let's go back up. So see, it says collaborates with major tech companies like Apple, allowing. Let me do this. Companies like Apple allowing thought-based control of devices such as Apple Vision Pro. Another one, BlackRock Neurotech, BrainGate. See, we just seen how BlackRock owns about 6.5% shares in Apple, and Vanguard owns about 8%. It says early pioneers of implanted brain chip implants dating back to the 2000s using Utah Array electrode system. Devices have enabled patients with paralysis to control robotic arms, wheelchairs, and computers through a thought alone. At least 15 people currently participate in long-term trials of BrainGate 2. And what they're going to do is they're going to give you the things that sound good. They're not going to talk about all the failed trials. Because one thing that's about experimenting in science, there's always failure when it comes down to these high-level experiments. Because they're not just dealing with no regular chemicals, they're dealing with the brain. The brain has all types of nerves that they need to make sure that when they get up into it, every move is calculated in a particular way. So now these moves, they're not going to be calculated unless there's trial and error. So you could damn bet your bottom dollar that a lot of people had died. Okay, a lot of people died. I'm not going to say monkeys or animals, because maybe that's the case too. But a lot of people have died because they trusted these damn devils with their lives. But here's a catch. These tech companies, they're going after the poor that are hurt, that are lame. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and that's how he's gonna do it. That's what he's doing. Oh yeah, I'll help you with. We'll put you on a brain chip implant procedure, and you'll receive sight again, or you'll be able to walk again, you'll be able to talk again. See, these are the things that they're telling to these people that really are in really, really down bad positions, because Yahweh Shema Shah put them in that position. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods, and his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. See, this is something that he's hiding right now under his tongue. He's giving you all this, oh, it sounds good type of words, but essentially what's really the truth is, he's got a bigger plan. He got a what's that called? He's got a damn, I can't think of the word, but he's basically got a whole nother type of intentions behind why he's doing this. But it says in the next one, it says Paradromics, US-based company, developed Connexus brain chip implants using microwave arrays and wireless communication. Successfully implanted their system in a human patient during epilepsy surgery, marking progression into clinical trials. Aims to deals with ALS, stroke, and spinal cord injuries. Precision neuroscience. It says, founded by former Neurolink executives. See, former Neurolink executives. So it's one big giant club, man. They're all together on this. They all know what they got to do, and they all know how it's going to be done. It says, let's keep reading down, man. I'm not going to read through all of this. It gives like a nice little summary right here. So no, is Neurolink alone? Absolutely not. While Neurolink receives the most media attention, there are already multiple companies that have implanted BCI devices in humans or are progressing towards that goal. So there's going to be more companies coming out. It says some even using less invasive techniques than Neuralink. Companies like Synchron, BlackRock, BrainGate, Paradromics, and Precision Neuroscience are all active in this space and have crossed Slovakia for the noise right next to a big ass machine there. It says, yeah, man, I don't really need to read too much, but I typed in how many patients have successfully gotten the implant for each company, and it goes into a little bit each company's and their success. So Synchron, right, is about 5 to 8. Neuralink said 9. Neuroscience have about 37 patients. BlackRock about 4. Which all of these numbers, they're how you say, these numbers ain't the real numbers, man. They hide in the exact numbers of people that are getting down with this type of shit. But with that, man, I'm gonna cut it short. Lord willing, this is edifying, giving all praises to you. How about Shema? Shalom.